Good morning. Welcome to our Unitarian Universalist Church of Reading's in-person and virtual worship service. My name is Martha Moore. I'm a member of the Welcoming Congregation Committee, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. We choose to share our pronouns because we know people of all genders are holy, whole, and loved. This morning is our service focused on the crucial task of being allies, particularly for those who identify as non-binary. The service will give some ideas about how to do this and do it effectively, but we encourage all present here with us today to join us after the service for a training offered to us by Tate Duffy from Greater Boston PFLAG. Tate is a speaker and LGBTQIA+ advocate. His scope focuses on individual empowerment and creating inclusive communities. As education and training manager at Greater Boston PFLAG, Tate has led initiatives for the nonprofit's educational programming and outreach. The educator role allows him to meld his personal, professional, and academic passions. Tate is currently a graduate student within Tufts Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Justice Leadership Master's Program. His academic experience, coupled with his understanding of program development, facilitation, and public speaking, has developed Tate's expertise as an LGBTQIA+ educator. Welcome, Tate. We're delighted to have you here with us today. Now, if this is your first time with us, I would like to extend a special welcome to you. If you haven't already, please look at our webpage at uureading.org for more information about UUCR. Here you can learn more about this beloved community and connect with our staff. For those here in the sanctuary this morning, please come and speak to anyone involved with today's service after the service. Whether you are here with us online or here with us in person, we are happy you are here. And we are glad to be together for this special worship service and the program to follow.
Thank you, Martha. Welcome to all. I'm Rob Craig Coleman, and my pronouns are he and him. I'm a member of both the Welcoming Congregation Committee and the Worship Arts team, and I am delighted to be here and to be part of this worship service calling us to allyship, specifically with those who lead us forward into a non-binary perspective. Our opening words are adapted from words by Carrie Holly Hurt, who declares, "Love holds us all. Love bears witness to all your inherent dignity and worthiness. It witnesses how you try, succeed, and fail, and it does not flinch. Love will not let go. Love holds all of you." May love hold us all here today and all people around this beautiful and yet very troubled world. And now I invite all the members of the Welcoming Congregation Committee forward to light our chalice. As we light our chalice this morning, the Unitarian Universalists all around the globe, I invite you to call into your heart the flame you kindle this morning, the flame of truth, of community, of commitment to love and to justice. Please join me in reciting our chalice words, which are printed on laminated cards, which you will find in the hymnal racks in the pew in front of you. In the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, we gather this day. May the flame we now kindle be to us a symbol of the holiness we seek. And each week recite our children's affirmation as a reminder of the most important elements of who we are. Anybody over there want to come up and help us? I thought so. Jump right up here. Come on. Show us how to do it. We are Unitarian Universalist, the Church of the open mind, the loving heart, and the helping hands. So please rise in body or in spirit and sing hymn number 1008 in the teal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Laura Solomon. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I would like to invite Brooke Martino up to help me with our children's story today. And I invite anyone who would like to come forward to be able to look at some pictures today. We're going to have pictures with our book. I am so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you. I am in awe of how many young people we have here today. This is truly fantastic. Hello, Jonah. It's good to see you. Welcome. You guys might want to scoot in a little bit so you can see the pictures. Perfect. So we're going to be talking today about being an ally. Does anybody know what an ally is? What do you think? A friend. That is a perfect definition. A friend or somebody you trust. Oh my gosh, you just made that definition even better. That's incredible. What do you think, Jonah? Somebody who you trust. That is exactly right. Ethan, do you have another thought?
Someone that helps you with something, and someone that people you know trust, and you trust.
Perfect. That is an excellent definition. So Brooke found this amazing book that is called Pride and Joy, and it's about becoming an ally for the LGBTQIA+ community. So Brooke, do you want to switch with me? Perfect. Is your mic on?
Yes.
Awesome.
Should be.
We are set.
All right. It's 4 o'clock. Time for my big brother Noah to come home. I had everything ready: flour, butter, sugar, and lots of sprinkles. Not only is Noah the coolest brother ever, he is also the best cookie baker ever. I waited for the hum of his skateboard, his sparkly smile. He always says, "Awesome, Joy," when he's proud of me. But where is he? There he was, racing with his boyfriend Miguel. I was just about to call them when Jimmy Duffelwood came out of his house with his friends and said, "Hey, freaks, we don't want you around here." The other kids laughed. Some of them said mean words about gay people. Noah held Miguel's hand. My chest started thumping. My belly felt sick, half angry and half scared. I wanted to scream at the bullies, but they were much bigger than me. Miguel took off for his house. Noah rushed to his room. I didn't feel like baking now. I just wanted to help my brother. At bedtime, I told Mom what I saw and how I felt. "It's not fair for anyone to treat Noah that way," Mom said. "I'm glad you told me about it, Joy. But what can I do, Mom? I want to help." "Of course you do," Mom said. "It sounds like you want to be an ally." "What's an ally?" An ally is a friend, someone who stands up for people. Allies support others with words and actions. They might raise money for groups or places like Noah and Miguel's teen center. "But how can I raise money?" "Well," Mom said, "you love to bake." The next morning at school, I grabbed my best friend Elliot. I told him what happened to Noah and Miguel and about being an ally. "Okay, I'll be an ally too," Elliot said. "But we're just kids. What can we do?" "We can have a cookie sale. We'll make a bunch of money and give it to Noah and Miguel's teen center." "But I can't bake," Elliot said. "I'll teach you. Noah taught me." We gathered a team of allies to bake on Friday after school. Mom and I were in charge. "Look, Noah, all the colors of the Progress Pride flag like the one in your room. Hey, they're Pride and Joy cookies, get it?" "Pretty clever, Joy." Noah messed my hair, but his smile wasn't as sparkly as usual. "Do you not want us to sell cookies?" I asked. "Because if you don't, we won't." "It's cool," he said. Saturday was the big day. Dad helped me make a beautiful sign. The cookie stand had the Progress Pride flag, the Ally flag, and more. Before long, a line of people came to buy cookies. A few more kids even joined our team. Just as I was laughing with my ally buddies, I heard a loud, mean voice across the yard. "Nobody wants your gross cookies and your gay flags." It was Jimmy. My chest started thumping. My belly felt sick again, half angry, half scared. But I'm an ally, right? What would an ally say? I took a big breath. "Listen, Jimmy," I said. "No one gets to tell anyone that they don't belong anywhere. Everybody belongs here eating Pride and Joy cookies." I put my arm around Elliot's shoulder. Elliot put his arm around the next ally, who put their arm around the next. Soon we made one long chain of allies. "Whatever." Jimmy stomped away. My heart was still thumping, but I shrugged. I guess not everyone wants to be an ally. All we can do is try and not give up, right? Just when we heard a new voice. "I want to thank you all. There are still people who think folks like me don't belong. But with allies like you, it's getting better. Now, how about a dozen Pride and Joy cookies?" Soon, we were sold out. "So what do we do now?" Elliot asked, jumping up and down. "We keep on being super duper allies. We stand up to bullies and include everyone. But for now," I pulled out a special tray, "we party. Who wants a cookie?" "We do," yelled the allies. "We do too," shouted Noah and Miguel, and all the kids from the teen center. "Awesome, Joy." Noah's sparkly smile was back. What do you guys think?
Hooray, I agree, totally. Beautiful. So those are some ideas about how to be an ally. I know you all already know how to be a good friend and to be a good ally to lots of different groups of people, right? Can you guys think of a time when you've been an ally before? Hannah?
When I helped my sister didn't want to get tased and I helped her get tased.
That's amazing. You helped your sister. That's fantastic. I love it. Awesome. Well, we are going to sing you to your classes. Thank you all for listening so nicely to our story.
May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. May your mind be open to new learning. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
Brooke, that book was delightful. Thank you for finding that. We take time during our service to light our candles of community, peace, and justice. We light our red candle of community to signify our interconnection. Wherever you are, we light this candle, holding you in love. Today, we particularly lift up Jean Carey, former member of this congregation who also served as the volunteer director of religious education here at UUCR. Jean died on October 7th, and we will have a memorial service here at UUCR for her on November 11th. We are holding Jean and all who love her in our hearts. And we also lift up Barbara Boviard. Barbara signed the membership book at UUCR in 1971 and was the director of Sawyer Nursery School for many years. I received news yesterday that Barbara passed away yesterday morning. Information about arrangements for Barbara are forthcoming. I invite you to speak aloud the name or names of people who are on your mind and heart this morning, that we may bring them fully into this space. We light our blue candle of peace for all the places worldwide where people live with the threat of war and violence. This week, we light this candle for the people of Israel and Palestine facing unimaginable terror and violence. Please join me in a moment of silence as we pray for safety and for peace. We light our yellow candle of justice. In her statement about the violence this week, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, said, "I pray that those of us who are less likely to know the trauma of unending brutality and harm will not turn away from generational loss, from the devastating realities and their root causes, or from the relentless tragedy of war and occupation. We are one global family living tenuously on the same human-impacted earth. Let us center ourselves in justice as we call for peace. May all people everywhere live their lives in freedom. And may we each do our part in the work for justice and liberation for all, in our global community. As we recommit ourselves to the work of love and justice, may we each voice this commitment by saying amen. I invite you into an extended time of prayer or meditation today. There is much that is on our hearts. Loss within our own community, natural disasters such as the earthquake in Afghanistan, violence in the world, and the fear, the terror, the increasing anxiety for those of us who are Jewish, who are Muslim, who are Israeli, who are Palestinian, of the anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim violence in our own country that follows these times. Even as we cannot imagine the fear, the devastation of our fellow humans, we can center ourselves in our hearts. We can breathe, can still, can calm our own nervous systems. The world needs us to be grounded, to be centered in the most loving parts of ourselves, and to send that love into the world. I invite you to center yourself in that love, listening to what it calls you to do. Perhaps it calls you to learn more of the conflict in Israel and Palestine. Perhaps it calls you to take a break from that news. Maybe you are being led to find organizations worthy of your time, your money, that will provide aid in this crisis. Maybe you are being led to shower yourself, your own aching heart, with love. We close our time of prayer with this piece, written by Reverend Drew Patton, the Associate Pastor for Justice and Outreach at the First Presbyterian Church of Berkeley. If they ever ask you, which side are you on? Tell them plainly, I side with people, with the precious ones, all the integral, the soft and the fierce, irreplaceable, the beloved, if only by God and trees, who were born, who breathe and survive. Say, I side with those who keep watch beneath the bright screaming arc of bombs, with those who hide in dark doorways, or who through the moonlight flee, with those who stay and fight, with those kept up all night by hunger and grief and rage and terror, by desperate, unruly hope, who are good and green at the root, who are more than the worst they've done, who do their best to love and still pass on the hurt in themselves that they hate. But what when they take sides against each other, the people against even themselves? Side with whatever is human in them, what is fragile and feeling and fresh. Side with the truth of our stories, side with the fact of our pain. Side with defiant insistence on freedom, side there again and again, side there today and tomorrow, side there the rest of your life. Side there together until we belong, each one to every other. If they ever ask you, which side are you on? Say, it doesn't work like that. Tell them you side with the people and abide where the people are at. I invite you into a sung meditation, number 1053 in your teal hymnal. We are going to sing it twice through, and you may remain seated.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
If you have a joy or a sorrow you would like to honor through lighting a silent candle, you are invited to come forward now.
When you call me by the name and pronouns I adore, you give me a gentle, warm hug, a hand up, a healing balm, a bright smile in the dark, a heart-opening wink, a bouquet of sunflowers, a yarrow blossom circle of protection, a tender rose of sweetness, years on my life, a burst of energy, the ability to focus, a nourishing sense of safety and belonging, a happy memory, a warm cup of lemon balm love. When you call me by the name and pronouns I adore, you give me wellness, welcome, and home. Thank you.
Two trees in the forest, one was crooked, one was straight. Crimson bark and emerald needles growing day by day. Though they look so different, they enjoy the rain the same side by side. Chickadee had told them of a darkness on the land, spinning blades that came to visit, carried by a man. Every other tree would see them cut down where they stand side by side. Oh, can't you see a crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine? They're left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree. Perfect trees are driven down the mountain to the mill, turn them into toothpicks and $20 bills, and seemed the more the people took, the more they needed still in the end. The crooked trees were left there after all the work was done. Now they go for weeks and never witness anyone. No one left to tell them if they're growing right or wrong but the whispering wind. Oh, can't you see a crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine? Left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree. Say I'm different and my way of life seems strange. I took the road less traveled, twists and turns along the way. But like the crooked tree, I'm growing stronger day by day as the clouds roll by. A river never wonders why it flows around a bend, and a mountain doesn't question how it grows up from the land. Who am I to wish I wasn't just the way I am? Who am I? Oh, can't you see a crooked tree won't fit into the mill machine, left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree, a crooked tree. Fit into the mill machine, they're left to grow wild and free. Oh, I'd rather be a crooked tree. Yeah, I'd rather be a crooked tree.
Thank you, Josh. I would like to invite Tate Duffy up to the podium for a moment.
Hello, everyone. Let me turn my mic on. Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Tate Duffy. I use he, him pronouns, and I am here today from Greater Boston PFLAG. Thank you all for having me and giving me the floor to say a few words about myself and my organization. So I want to briefly introduce myself and what my role is, as well as tell you all about the presentation that will be happening following the service today that I will be conducting. From what I understand from what Robert said and my experience with the service so far today, you all have done some really great work in terms of moving towards allyship. You've started your welcoming congregation that is inclusive of LGBTQIA+ identity, and I applaud you all for that. Religious organizations like yours are crucial in my line of work because of the support you provide for your community. People rely on their entire community for support, whether that's a helping hand, a guiding voice, a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear. It's practically a whole body. The organization I work for, PFLAG of Greater Boston, is dedicated to supporting communities like yours. We serve businesses, communities, schools, as well as nonprofits and religious organizations. And we want to make sure that you all can best support LGBTQIA+ individuals that you know as their friends, their family members, and their community members. At PFLAG, we empower the allies, who are the people surrounding LGBTQIA+ people, to create a more inclusive world for everybody, regardless of orientation or sexual identity or gender. Our mission is to provide a safe spaces for families, friends, and individuals to share their experiences and to find support. We offer plenty of resources on our website, as well as support groups that are geographically based throughout New England and Massachusetts. We also have training programs, which will be like the one following the service today. The training will cover the topic of LGBTQIA+ identity, non-binary and trans identities, and what allyship really means. And we'll talk about some really concrete steps that you can take towards moving along the ally to action continuum, which I'll explain a little bit later. And I can also answer any questions that you all might have. I am an experienced LGBTQIA+ advocate and speaker, so as a LGBTQIA+ person, you can direct those questions towards me, and I can hopefully clarify any lingering thoughts you all may have. So thank you for having me here today, and I'm looking forward to share more about the work we do at Greater Boston PFLAG and how we can all work together to make a positive difference in our community. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tate. I do hope that you will all stay for the workshop after the service. So, I'm going to be honest with you here. It's really weird to be a queer minister and be asked to speak about how to be a straight ally. Thank you. I could talk about forms of allyship that I do understand, what it means for me as a white person to work towards being an ally for people of color, for example, or what I, as a relatively able-bodied person, know about being an ally for people with disabilities. Sometimes I think there's benefit in making those parallels, but I don't think now is that occasion. Because today we're not talking about disability justice. We're not talking about white folks learning to be better allies for people of color. Today we're talking very specifically about queerness. And for good reason. You know, and I have spoken before of the increasing threats against queer and trans people. You know, and I have spoken before about the violence that happens, even here in Massachusetts, here in Reading. The workshop after worship will be a wonderful time for you to learn more, to connect more deeply on this topic, to update your knowledge, because information and language is always changing. It's important to stay engaged. But I can't tell you how to be a straight ally, having never been a straight ally myself. I can give you 2 examples of powerful allyship from my own life. 2 times when I could feel in my bones that I was supported, that I was loved, that people in my life had my back and saw me as whole and worthy, not in spite of my queerness or because of my queerness. I'm not under the illusion that I am more special because I'm queer, even though I think us queer folks are pretty great. People who saw me as a whole, complex human existing in a world that is not built to help me thrive. Because that is what it means to be an ally. It means you strive to radically align yourself with people who are existing in a world that is not built to support their thriving. The only way we can do this is by using or giving up power, or by moving outside of contemporary narratives to engage in radical acceptance and love. The first example was when I was in the process of coming out. I was out to some friends and people at church, but I was not yet out to my family. See, I have 2 siblings, both of whom are also queer. I was indoctrinated in a world of heteronormativity and homophobia such that the idea of coming out to my parents as their 3rd queer child felt heartbreaking. 1 or 2 queer children I believed they could accept, but 3? So I spoke with my minister, the Reverend Paige Getty. When I told Reverend Paige that I too am queer and would be coming out to my parents, she said, 3 queer kids? Oh, congratulations, Laura's parents. This support, this radical embracing love of who I am, who my family is, and who I was becoming, it turned what I thought I knew completely upside down. Suddenly, queerness and coming out was a celebration. It was something to be congratulated on. This is allyship because it let me know that without a doubt, I was loved and affirmed beyond what I could imagine. The second example was several years after I came out. I had an experience of homophobia that left me rattled. Nothing terrible. I don't even remember what it was. But it left me annoyed, tired, irritated that I had to explain and justify my existence again. I called a friend who happens to be a straight ally and complained about it. And while we were on the phone, she said, "Check your email." I did. And there I found a Starbucks gift card with a simple note: "To pay you for the work you did that I will never have to do. Buy a fancy coffee on me." The acknowledgement that my experience of casual homophobia was work, that it took a toll on me, on my emotions, on my energy. My friend took that seriously and literally and said, "Let me pay you back for the unpaid labor you just did." It was shocking. It wasn't something I ever would have asked for or wished for or thought of, but man, that coffee tasted extra good. So friends, I wish I could preach a simple message here. I wish I could tell you to use your grandchildren's correct names and pronouns and that would be enough. I wish I could tell you that our faith believes people of all sexualities and gender identities are whole and beloved, and know that you go into the world with that message and that would be enough. But that's not allyship. That is the bare minimum. Using correct names and pronouns, believing all people to be beloved, that is the bare minimum. Being an ally means that you strive to radically align yourself with people who are existing in a world that is not built to help them thrive. And to be honest, I have nothing to say beyond that. So instead, we are going to practice putting our allyship into action. You should have gotten a card when you came in, multicolored card. Maybe some people did, and maybe some people didn't. If the ushers can help with making sure that the people who didn't receive a card, you can raise your hand if you need one. Point of Pride is an organization that provides free chest binders and femme shapewear, as well as monetary support for gender-affirming surgeries and medical procedures for trans youth and adults. They include a letter of support with each package they send out, reminding the recipient that they are valid, respected, and loved as they are. We are going to take a few moments to write a note of support to a trans youth or adult. Point of Pride provides these recommendations for writing your notes. The message must be encouraging and positive, so think you're awesome and not you're not a bad person. Do we hear the difference in those? Yeah. Great. Keep your message vague so that the card won't out anyone as trans to unsupportive family or roommates. Speak from the heart and share what you would tell a friend or what you would want to hear yourself when you are going through a difficult time. They also ask that you avoid identifying information, so maybe sign your first name and the state that we're in if you choose to sign the card. During the offering, we will pass an additional basket to retrieve your letters so they may be sent out. Beth is going to play us another 2 rounds of How Could Anyone while you write your cards. May we do the work of allyship with solidarity and with radical love in our hearts.
A simple yet powerful way for each of us to help heal the world is to learn about and support the good works of charitable organizations and become involved in our community. Each Sunday, UUCR shares half the money received in the collection plate with a nonprofit organization that shares our UU values. Our Share the Plate recipient for October is Greater Boston PFLAG. UUCR has hosted the monthly Greater Boston PFLAG Reading Support Group since 2006. PFLAG meetings are open to all who wish to come. I facilitate them on the second Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. in Loring House and on Zoom. Oops. I have misplaced the second page. Thank you. Our congregation exists and thrives through the gifts of those who call this place their spiritual home. If you are here with us in the sanctuary, you may put your gift in the collection plate as it goes by. Otherwise, you may make a gift online or send a check. Please give as generously as you are willing and able to our Share the Plate offering to support the Greater Boston PFLAG and the mission of UUCR. If this is your first time with us, your presence is gift enough. Thank you.
Going to lead us in singing Everything Possible, which is number 1019 in your teal hymnal by Fred Small. I extend a particular thank you to Janet Nussman, who read her copy of UU World that arrived this week and found that Fred Small, a cisgender straight man, has been doing the work of allyship. When he wrote this song, the lyrics were radical, with words like, some women love women, some men love men, some have children, some never do, as well as the lines, there are girls who grow up strong and bold, there are boys quiet and kind. Fred has now changed these words to the more expansively inclusive, some women love women, some men love men, some leave every label behind, and some children grow up strong and bold, while some are quiet and kind. We sing this song today with these new words. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
We have cleared off the table, the leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I've told you a story and tucked you in tight at the end of your knockabout day. As the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea, I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you good company. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Some children grow up strong and bold, while some are quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind, and some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men, some leave every label behind. You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts and by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they will give the same back to you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one special one, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Yes, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're gone.
Thank you, Josh and Beth. I'm Melissa Martin, your Member Services and Volunteer Coordinator, and my pronouns are she and her. This morning's save the dates include our fall member meeting scheduled in 2 weeks after the service on October 29th. The warrant email was sent to you yesterday. For our brief social hour on the 29th between service and our meeting, we'll build upon our monthly theme of heritage by sharing your favorite family recipes of bite-sized treats. Maybe you have a favorite bread, brownie, cookie, or the like that has special meaning. Plan to bring your nut-free family treat with you on the 29th to share and nourish. Our fall leaf raking cleanup is planned for Saturday, November 4th, and all ages are encouraged to participate and work side by side. Our 2023 Kris Kringle Fair will be Saturday, November 18th. Please look for ways to be involved. For this week, our Buddhist meditation and social crafty fun drop-in groups welcome anyone interested in joining them. Our last Tuesday of the Book Month Club is meeting on the 31st, and you are welcome to join them. This month's book is The Covenant of Water. Every member of the congregation is invited and encouraged to find a small group to participate. Chalice circles are now forming, and the deadline has been extended. You should have received an email in your inbox yesterday, so please let us know if you'd like to be part of a small group. As always, everything I mentioned today can be found in our church news or by speaking with me after service. Lastly, for today, please stay in the sanctuary or return quickly if you need a break, as our workshop will begin in 15 minutes after the service. Childcare is available. Please let us know if you have questions. Thank you to our incredible, welcoming congregation committee and to Reverend Laura and Tate for this service and for the workshop that follows. We thank all of our dedicated volunteers who made worship possible today. Thank you for being a vital part of our congregational life. Our closing hymn today is number 170, We Are Great and Angry People. Please join us.
We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
So I'm going to put on my worship arts hat for just a second as the co-chair of worship arts team and thank the welcoming congregation for the stretch work you did today to put this service together. And I thank Reverend Laura for stretching herself to help us stretch and learn something about stretching, because that's what this is all about, stretching beyond your comfort zone. Let us join together in extinguishing our chalice. The chalice extinguishing words are found on your laminated sheet. Thank you, whoever laminated these up. It's wonderful. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our benediction comes from Prayer for Living in Tension by the Reverend Joseph M. Cherry. If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we, as a people of faith, be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. Amen.